Divine Service, text number 10. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Kamasya na indriya priti labha jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa na artha ya cha iha karmabhi kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa nartha yaschaya karmabhi kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa nartha yaschaya karmabhi. Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa narto yaschaya karmabhi. Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa nata yaschaya karmabhi. Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa narta yaschaya karmabhi. Ladies, kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa narta yaschaya karmabhi. Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa narta yaschaya karmabhi. Kamasya nendriya pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa javo jiveta karmabhi. Pritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jigyasa natta yaschaya karmabhi. Kamasya of desires, na not indriya senses, priti satisfaction, labha gain, jiveta self-preservation, yavata so much so, jivasya, of the living being. Tattva, the absolute truth. Jigyasa, inquiries. Na, not. Artha, end. Yacha iha, whatsoever else. Karma be, by occupational duties. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Life desires should never be directed towards sense gratification. One should desire only a healthy life or self-preservation, since a human being is meant for inquiry about the absolute truth. Nothing else should be the goal of one's works. Purport. The completely bewildered material civilization is wrongly directed towards the fulfillment of desires in sense gratification. In such civilization, in all spheres of life, the ultimate end is sense gratification. In politics, social service, altruism, philanthropy, and ultimately in religion or even in salvation, the very same tint of sense gratification is ever increasingly predominant. In the political field, the leaders of men fight with one another to fulfill their personal sense gratification. The voters adore the so-called leaders only when they promise sense gratification. As soon as the voters are dissatisfied in their own sense gratification, they dethrone the leaders. The leaders must always disappoint the voters by not satisfying their senses. The same is applicable in all other fields. No one is serious about the problems of life. Even those who are on the path of salvation desire to become one with the absolute truth and desire to commit spiritual suicide for sense gratification. But the Bhagavatam says that one should not live for sense gratification. One should satisfy the senses only in so much as required for self-preservation and not for sense gratification. Because the body is made of senses, which also require a certain amount of satisfaction, there are regulative directions for satisfaction of senses. But the senses are not meant for unrestricted enjoyment. For example, marriage, or the combination of a man and a woman, is necessary for progeny, but it is not meant for sense enjoyment. In the absence of voluntary restraint, there is propaganda for family planning, but foolish men do not know that family planning is automatically executed as soon as there is search after the absolute truth. Seekers of the absolute truth are never allured by unnecessary engagements in sense gratification, because the serious students seeking the absolute truth are always overwhelmed with the work of researching the truth. In every sphere of life, therefore, the ultimate end must be seeking after the absolute truth. And that sort of engagement will make one happy, because he will be less engaged in varieties of sense gratification. And what that absolute truth is explained as follows. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Bharakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatan Vitam Tam Sujivam Sadaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Svaminiti Namine Namaste Sarasvate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for giving us this knowledge. So, according to this verse, one does not have to completely neglect one's sense gratification. Prabhupada explains that sense gratification is like salt. If there's too much, it's no good. There's too little, it's no good. You have to have the right amount of salt. And that is very nice, you see. So one has to take care of one's material body. Krishna has given us this material body. So whatever is required to keep it, as stated here in the verse, healthy life or self-preservation, you see. That's our quota. We're given the quota to maintain the body properly. But to overindulge the body, you see, that's the difficulty. And because the present-day civilization is caught up in the false misidentification with the body, therefore all they know is sense gratification. Therefore they're very frustrated. They're very, very unhappy people. Because they're putting all their energy into a place where everything's going to be finished, you see. But when one becomes Krishna conscious, he understands, I have an identity beyond this temporary body. I have an eternal identity as a servant of the Supreme Person, Krishna. So let me cultivate that as more important than the bodily needs. Take care of the body, but don't put all the energy in the body. You see. Put my actual energy into reviving my lost loving relationship with Krishna. Because when this body is finished, that identity as the eternal servant of Krishna will not be finished. So one should focus on that which is permanent, not that which is temporary. That's very nice points. The serious students are overwhelmed with the work of researching the truth. This absorption in Krishna consciousness, which is basically uncovering the truth. The absolute truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So by this activity of devotional service, one actually uncovers his relationship with that person. In other words, Krishna is already there, but we're not experiencing Krishna right now because we're covered by the modes of nature. But by engaging in devotional service, gradually Krishna becomes uncovered, and we experience Krishna in full. So that happiness of reawakening that loving relationship with Krishna is called Brahmasaukam, spiritual happiness. Bhagavatam says, Brahmasaukam Tvadantam. That spiritual happiness that goes on increasing forever. Material happiness always has an ending point, satiation. But this spirit soul's ecstasy of loving relationship with Krishna knows no satiation point. So it goes on increasing. You can sit down for a nice Prasadam feast. You know, we bring you first, seconds, thirds, fourths. No, you see, I'm full. But there's no question of getting full with Krishna consciousness, you see. First, seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths, millionths. I can have 1,000,000 doses of Krishna consciousness, you see, and never become, oh, I've had enough now, you see. More Krishna. In fact, the more you taste Krishna, the more your appetite increases. And eating, the appetite goes down, you see. The more you eat, your appetite goes down, you see. But this eating, Krishna consciousness, it goes on increasing, increasing, increasing. So it becomes more relishable with each and every moment. There's no enjoyment like that anywhere in the material world. Even Prabhupada points out the bliss of merging into Brahman. Even that doesn't have this, you see. Because after a while they become disappointed. Even they merge into Brahman, but again they come back, you see. Bhagavatam says they come back again, you see. Because you cannot be satisfied in that position of impersonal oneness, because actually you're an individual person who relishes relationships. So being frustrated with the material relationships, to deny all relationships, may it appear to be a relief for some time, but that tendency to have loving relationship cannot be destroyed. It's an inherent part of your nature. So therefore, they're not satisfied with that Brahman realization. Becomes a very unsatisfactory position. So therefore, without being diverted by impersonal realization, we take directly to the pathway of Krishna consciousness, developing a loving relationship with Krishna, that all beautiful, all powerful, all renounced, all wealthy, all famous person, Krishna, is it? Everyone wants to associate with some famous person, some beautiful person, etc. Is it? It's like when some famous person comes, everyone runs, you see, to meet the famous person. Very eager, so some famous person has come. So who was more famous than Krishna? Who was more beautiful? Who was more powerful? Who was more renounced? Who was more wealthy? Who was more... all these things. So how fortunate we are that Srila Prabhupada has given us the method by which we can reestablish our relationship with Krishna. For millions of lifetimes, we've been suffering like anything, being separated from Krishna. Trying to find satisfaction here, satisfaction there. I can't get no satisfaction. I can't get any satisfaction in the material world, you see. It's not possible. You can't get satisfied here. Absolutely impossible. This is a fish out of water. Can the fish be happy on the land? You may give him a nice Rolls-Royce car, a nice beautiful movie star wife, you see. He can't be satisfied. He's a creature of the water. He cannot be satisfied on the land. Just put him back in the water, he'll be very happy. He doesn't need anything fancy. Just throw him back in the water, you see. So Prabhupada has come to throw us back in the water, you see. Here we are foolishly trying to enjoy in this material world where we cannot enjoy. It's impossible. Absolutely impossible to be satisfied here. No matter what you may be, no matter what you may have, even if you're Lord Brahma, you can't be satisfied here. A non-devotee Brahma, you see. Can only be satisfied by being resituated in the constitutional nature. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Krishnera Nitya Das. You see. So, well, we've learned now what we're supposed to do, so now let's do it. We know we're supposed to become pure devotees with no other desires except pleasing Krishna, with our every thought, word, and deed in all times, places, and circumstances. So now let's do it. Let's beg Krishna for pure devotional service. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My dear Lord Krishna, my dear Mother Radharani, please engage me in your pure devotional service without any side trips, side tracks, even subtle side tracks into sense gratification. Please free me from it, my dear Krishna, my dear Mother Radharani. Please free me from this stuff. It's such a nightmare to still be attracted to the material nature. But for us struggling neophytes, it's a sad reality. We're still attracted to the material nature. My God, we should know better by now. But we're still attracted to it. Those of us who are neophytes like myself, you see. We're still attracted to the material nature. So we have to beg Krishna, please free me from this. Please, Krishna, free me from this nightmare. Please bring me to pure devotional service. Prabhupada told me one time, he said, now you just qualify yourself to see Krishna face to face. Wow, it's a pretty high standard. See Krishna face to face, wow. That means there can't even be a slightest hint of a tinge of a desire for sense enjoyment. To come to that position, being qualified to see Krishna. You see? So how can we achieve that pure state? Well, first thing is you got to desire it. Understanding anything else is a waste of time. Shama eva kevalam. To be a quasi-Krishna conscious, I mean, why be quasi-Krishna conscious? Hovering between Maya and Krishna. Why not become fully Krishna conscious? Premanjana charita bhakti valochanena santaksa daiva hidayesha valokayanti yang shama shundaram achintya ganasva rupam govindam adipurusham tamaham bhajami. I worship Govinda, the primeval Lord, whom the pure devotees see in their heart of hearts with the eye of devotion tinged with the salve of love. Why not hanker for that? You see, beg Krishna, please Krishna, please, please, bring me to that state. You see, or my eyes become tinged with the salve of love, prem anjana. You see, right now my eyes are tinged with the salve of kama, lust. You see, my eyes are poisoned by the salve of lust. So my dear Lord, please bless me with that salve of prema, prem anjana. Please, please bless me with that salve of love, so I can see you everywhere, you see. Krishna is actually everywhere. Yamam pashati sarvashat sravang shamai pashyati teshaham na pranashami satchami na pranashyati. For one who sees me in everything and everything in me, I've never lost and he's ever lost in me. That's the vision we should cultivate. That I can see Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. You see? Krishna in everything and everything in Krishna. That cannot be done just by philosophy, by gyan. It has to be bhakti gyan. One has to be in that mood of love, you see. One has to give up one's independence trip and just say, okay, Krishna, now I'm your, as Prabhupada said, now I'm your puppet. You make me dance, make me dance, make me dance as you like. See, that's the position. That's Krishna consciousness. I give up my independence. Now, Krishna, I'm yours. Do whatever you want to with me. Doesn't matter. You can embrace me or you can throw me away. Whatever you want to do with me, I belong to you. I come to you with no conditions. When one comes to that state of consciousness, that I totally belong to Krishna, whatever he wants to do with me is okay. He can kill me, I can have me live for 50 more years, whatever he wants to do with me is fine. I belong to him. I'm his property. I simply want to please him. Whatever he wants to do with me is fine, you see. That mood liberates one from all anxieties. That state of consciousness puts one into pure bliss. It doesn't matter what happens to me now, because I'm seeing everything as Krishna's blessings upon me to bring me closer and closer to him, step by step by step by step by step. The fact is, Krishna is doing everything to get us back to him. Every minute. With each and every one of us. Every one of us is very, very dear to Krishna. And Krishna is doing everything to bring each one of us back to him as soon as possible. We just have to learn how to see the loving hand of Krishna at every step, at every minute of our lives, you see. How Krishna is blessing me, how this situation, that's every situation he's put me in was actually for that purpose of bringing me back to him. So we have a few minutes left. We end at 8:30, I understand. So if there's any questions, I can try to answer them. Question?
We're personal, and friends and enemies we treat. How's that work?
You don't know how to deal with friends and enemies equally?
But then what's the point on relationship? You have your friends, yeah.
Yeah, we reciprocate accordingly. If there's someone is a blasphemer, we avoid their association. That's our love for them. If someone is blasphemous and you keep associating with them, they keep blaspheming. So your love for them is to avoid them, for example. So a devotee is actually in the mood of giving love to everyone, but that love takes different shapes according to the consciousness of that person. You understand? It's love, and the pure devotee loves everyone. He deals with everyone in the way that is best for their Krishna consciousness. For some, it's a warm, intimate relationship. For others, it's a distance. You understand?
Naturally, we would love our friends more, wouldn't we?
No, you shouldn't love your friends more. A devotee is equal to everyone. Actually, everyone is ultimately your friend. Everyone's a pure devotee of Krishna, but they've just forgotten it. That's so. So therefore, devotee is the well-wishing friend of every single living entity. He doesn't distinguish. He's the well-wisher of all. Not that I'm a well-wisher of you, I'm not a well-wisher of that person. Devotee suhridam sarvabhutanam. Krishna is the intimate, well-wishing friend of every single living entity, and Prabhupada explains the devotee also is the well-wishing friend of every living entity. But that well-wishing takes different shapes according to the dealings of that other person. But in every case, he remains the well-wisher. He has no enmity towards anyone. Does that make sense? Yeah. Yes.
One sec.
About loving everyone, is it possible to first to understand everyone and then to love everyone?
What is the question?
The question is that loving everyone, isn't it that first we have to understand the individual, then we can love?
Well, devotee, one who is actually fixed in Krishna consciousness understands what's going on with everybody. He can see what is the motive of this person, what is the motive of that person. Someone who is actually just has the ability to properly judge the consciousness of those with whom he's dealing. and therefore he can deal with them accordingly. That if one carefully studies Prabhupada's books, you become an expert psychologist. If you understand where is this person coming from, what's the point of what they said, is it? So if you by studying Prabhupada's books very carefully, you'll develop the ability to understand why someone said this, why someone did that, and be able to deal with them accordingly. So therefore, read all the books. Prabhupada said, all my disciples have to read all of my books. So someone may think, well, I'm a grand disciple, I have to read all of them. No, grand disciples are also disciples. We're all disciples of Prabhupada, different kinds of disciples. There's disciples, grand disciples, great grand disciples. Your disciples will be great grand disciples, you see. But we're all disciples of Prabhupada, and so we all have to read Prabhupada's books. All of my disciples have to read all of my books so they will fall down, he said. So we have to study scrutinizing these books. And then you'll be able to understand why this person said this, why that person did this. And then you can deal with them accordingly in a way that will benefit them. Does that make sense?
Yes, thank you.
Any other question? Yeah.
Thank you. About praying to the Lord that whatever you'd like to do to me, whatever condition you want to put me in.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, there's prayers which are ideal prayers, like prayers from Siksashtakam. I don't know whether I should pray like that. There's a lot of things I fear, and I don't want Krishna just to put me in conditions which I'm not happy with.
You don't trust Krishna? In America we have on the money it says, in God we trust. In America we're supposed to trust God because our money says that.
So on that, I feel like I trust that whatever Krishna does to me in the long run, it will be good.
No, it's good right now.
But I don't feel...
Actually, everything is perfect right now. We just have to see how it's perfect. It's already perfect. You are perfect by Krishna's arrangement. You are perfectly situated right now. You just have to see how Krishna has made this arrangement for you.
But to make that prayer, that do whatever you want me to. I'm feeling, should not one make a prayer which may be more realistic for their state? That
What does surrender mean? What does surrender mean? It means you can do whatever you want to with me, isn't it? So you don't want to surrender. You do not want to surrender. Poor soul. We have to preach to him, tell him to surrender to Krishna.
Thank you.
Huh? Those prayers are very helpful to develop the mood of surrender. I mean, these prayers are perfect. These prayers of Lord Chaitanya and the great acharyas, they are perfect. Why we should say, well, I don't want to chant that prayer? I mean, come on, what kind of nonsense is that? These prayers are perfect. They enable us to enter in the mood of pure bhakti. So one should chant them all with great feeling and devotion and sincerity. And if you do so, the magic will happen. Your consciousness will go into this dimension of pure bliss. Why are you cheating yourself, Prabhu?
Just scared.
Scared? Come on. What is Prabhupada's name? Abhay. Fearless. A Vaishnava is fearless.
I'll give an example.
Why are you scared?
Sorry for a gross example, but right now, for example, in the world, in UK, there's acid attacks happening, and
what's it?
Acid attacks.
Accidents?
Acid attacks. People throwing acid on people. Acid, yeah, sorry.
I have a hearing problem. Everybody's talking at once. This is my wife's. I can recognize her voice pretty well. Acid? What kind of acid? Acid attack? From the terrorists or something?
Yeah, it's like that.
Afraid of an acid attack?
It's an analogy.
There's a threat of acid attack? How do they attack with acid?
They spray it in your face.
Oh, they can spray in the face.
Sorry, but it's...
Well, what's the worst thing that'll happen?
So it's happening in UK, and heaven forbid
acid
my friends or my family or
Everybody's
myself.
afraid of an acid attack, huh?
Well, there is an increased fear of that, and I fear that.
But
so
what's the worst? What happens when you get an acid attack? Does it kill you?
It would be very destroying.
You die?
It would be very
Is it
upsetting
deadly?
for family and, huh?
It kills you?
It would
It burns, and then do you die? Or you just have a burned face. Do you die also? You can die.
be deformed.
Deforms the face. Well, mine's already pretty deformed. Maybe it'd help me. I don't know. But the thing is, the devotee understands that Krishna's, whatever is going to happen to me, it's Krishna's mercy upon me. So, of course, we intelligently try to avoid being attacked by acid. I mean, the devotee is street savvy. He's not dumb. If he sees it, he can. Krishna, if he sees that he can understand this person has come to attack me. The devotee he knows how to run also. You know what I mean? So a devotee should be intelligent, you see, not to be foolish. Prabhupada was, he said, I was a Calcutta boy. Knew all the practical things, you see. You have to be very practical, you see. Somebody is coming to kill you. Prabhupada said, if someone's coming to kill me, I will stand over the door with a rock. So a devotee is intelligent, you see. Actually, there was a time when they started attacking our temples with guns. We had that, and Prabhupada said, give me a bead bag in one hand and a gun in the other hand, and I'll protect you. So it actually happened one time in Miami. We were attacked. They came, and armed bandits came. They one guy had a stocking over his face that's disguise his identity. The guy had a pistol and like a shotgun or something. It was very heavy. They came in during milk prasadam. We were all sitting there taking milk prasadam, and they took one brahmachari hostage. They had her hand over her mouth. She was going, the gun in her head, They had the gun right in her head, the pistol, and they said, "Everybody get on the floor." So everybody got on the floor except for me. I said, "Nrsingadev." I was thinking, better call for the mercy of Lord Nrsinga. This is a pretty heavy thing. We had a gun in the brahmachari's hair. There, everybody get on the floor, and I yelled Nrsingadev, and then I had the gun pointed at me now. So I thought, well, it's time to negotiate now. They got the gun pointed at me. I said, where are your friends? What do you want? I said, we want the money. Where's the money? Actually, the treasury was right there off the prasadam room, but there was no sign on the door. But they were 5 feet away from the treasury. And our temple president, Abhiram, was in there with the treasurer. So Abhiram came out of the treasury for milk prasadam, right? He comes out and he sees these armed bandits here, all the devotees on the floor. Somebody's yelling Nrsingadev. He's going, what's going on here, And he goes like that. Then he turns around and go back to the treasury, and they follow him with a gun. They hit him with a pistol and cut him on the head. But Abhiram was very cool-headed. The treasurer actually had a gun in the drawer. And Abhiram was very street smart. He out loud, you could hear it all over the room. He said, "Get the gun and shoot the bastards." And as soon as I heard that, they ran like crazy out the door. And he actually came. In those days, the temple president he's Prabhupada's representative. Whatever he says, you immediately, without question, follow the temple president's authority. So the treasurer got the gun, he went, pow, and he missed. So it was quite an interesting evening. But the point is, the temple president was very intelligent, how to deal with that, you see. It's an armed robbery. He was very smart. Abhiram, maybe my godbrother Abhiram, very smart. So we have to be smart also, intelligent, how to deal with some attacker, Krishna will give you the intelligence. Krishna doesn't want you to have your face is so beautiful now, Prabhu. I'm sure he doesn't want you to have a deformed face, you see. So Krishna will give you the intelligence, how to deal with it if it comes. Just like Abhiram dealt with those armed bandits, you see. So our time is up, 8:30, and we go a little over. Is it about consciousness?